I'm Lucy and I'm Vicar of St Andrew's, Bedford, and delighted to be here with Kirsty, CEO of King's Arms Project, with whom we're partnering for the winter night shelter. Kirsty, tell us why this is needed.
Thanks, Lucy. We have been running projects for homelessness in Bedford for a number of years, and this winter we realised that there wasn't going to be any emergency bed spaces for rough sleepers because provisions changed during the COVID years, so things have been looking a bit different. And about 2 months ago, realising we were facing a situation where there was going to be probably 20 to 25 people out on the streets every night. And so as a project decided, actually, we can do something about this, so let's step into the space and make that happen. But could not do that by ourselves. We didn't have the resources, either people or finances. And so reached out to the local community to see if there were other people who would be willing to help. And St Andrews very kindly stepped up to the mark, and as a church community have just engaged in a really encouraging way. People volunteering to help with food, to help cover shifts, and also to financially provide for the cost of the project. So it has been a really blossoming friendship and a really great experience in terms of just engaging with other church communities on a project that's going to serve the whole town.
It's been really interesting to see how the Holy Spirit's been at work preparing the ground at St Andrews. It wasn't just that you came to us and said, could you, but we've been in conversations happening at church, and then this moment where it all seemed to come together and in conversation that this became a possibility.
We've been looking for this kind of partnership, and so it's come along at the perfect time.
So I'm really aware that the volunteers from St Andrews that come here are going to be transformed just as the clients are. What do you think it's going to be like for people coming and working with those who are sleeping rough for the first time?
I think it can be sometimes we can feel a bit scared because we don't really know how people are going to respond or react to us. So I'm really mindful that for many people they're stepping outside of their comfort zones and they're really being willing to put themselves out there, which is great. And I think they will almost immediately be rewarded by just the kind of sense of engagement that they'll get with the guests. And I think there's a sense of camaraderie with other team that you're working with, and so whether it be other volunteers from your own church community or indeed other church communities and other volunteers around the town, it's not just the guests. Also we get the chance to interact with other people and share our kind of faith and our kind of values for the kingdom. And so I'm hoping it'll be a place of peace and a place of laughter and a place of some competitive fun over some Scrabble perhaps, and just a real sense of actually I am being the hands and feet. I am physically, tangibly, I'm clothing the naked and I'm feeding the hungry and I'm welcoming in the stranger. And that does something in our hearts, I think, when we engage with the poor who we know God absolutely loves and calls us to work with.
At the prayer meeting here last night, we were praying around all sorts of things before the opening on Friday. And I was really aware that we're stepping into Advent and that time of preparing for the coming of Christ. And the image that was in my head was of the stable and the innkeeper and all the nativity plays welcoming in the Holy Family who were sleeping rough otherwise. And that invitation to the churches who are partnering with you to come and find Christ in the guests here. And that's something that I'm going to take away and enjoy and pray through.
Yeah, great.
Kirsty, thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's our pleasure.